Okay, so this is actually the problem on your problem set. Okay, so a steel beam constructed from 2-inch by 8-inch board has cross-section shown in the figure. If the maximum bending moment acting on the beam is 16,000 pound-feet, determine A for the maximum board at A. Okay. So first, let's first draw muna yung pinaka section natin. Okay. So meron ka nito. Yan. Kumbaga ganyan na eh. Okay. Tapos yan. Sample lang. Okay. Okay. Parang hindi anong mag-drawing ah. Hindi engineer mag-drawing ah. Okay, sample. Okay? And then, alam naman natin na at the center, ito na kagad yung kanyang rotation, ano? Okay. Now, yung bending at point A, okay, kunin muna natin yung I. So, para makuha ko yung I can have it as the I ng hole minus I ng hole. Okay? So, for the hole, ang dimension niya, again, this one, is around, ilan yan? 4 plus 2 plus 2, so you can have it as 8. And ito yung hole. Okay, mula doon hanggang dito. So that's 8 plus 2 plus 2, so that is 12 inches. Okay. How about this one? So you can have this. Okay, so you can have it as 8 inch. And here, you can have it as 4 inches. Okay. So we could have it as the whole, which is B H cube all over 12. And then minus ng whole, B H cube all over 12. So I have now the I equal to 8, 12 cube all over 12 minus 4, 8 cube all over 12. So you can have it as 981.33. Again, that is inches to the fourth. Okay, now, so at board A, okay, nasan lang ba yung board A natin? Okay, ito lang yung board A. Either taas or baba, same lang sila, no? They are perfectly symmetrical naman. So I will just try to have this board A. Okay. Ngayon, mula dyan, nasan ba yung kasi nahanap natin is maximum, ano? So, mula dito, nasan ba yung pinakamalayong fiber? Dito nagsisimula yung fiber niya, nagtatapos doon, vertically. So, nandito yung ating maximum, no? So, you can have that as C maximum. Okay? Ilan nga yun? So, you can have it as 6 inches. Okay? So, you can have it as 6 inches. Next, pwede na ako makakuha ng FB. Okay? So, that is equals to M, C, all over the I. Okay? So, you can have it the M. So, 16,000. Kaya lang naka-pound feet. So, multiply ko yan by 12 para maging inches. And then, I will be having the C, which is 6, all over the I, which is 981.33. So, you can now have the FB equal to 16,000 times 12 times 6 all over 981.33. So, you can have it as 1173.92 PSI. Okay? So, this is now for your board A. Okay? For the board B, you should get the same M, you get the same I, except that at board B, okay, ito naman yung board B. Okay, ayan yung board B. Okay? So, nagsisimula yun dito, nagtatapos doon. Siyempre, ang kailangan natin yung maximum. Ito naman yung kanyang maximum. Okay, again, that is around 4 inches kalahati ng 8. Okay? So it means that C is equals to 4. You have there 4 inches. So you can now have the FB equals to MC all over I. So you can have it the M again, ganun pa rin, 16,000. Kaya lang, times natin by 12 para maging pound inch. And then C is 4 all over the I, which is equal to 981.33. Okay, inches to the 4. So you can now have the FB for board B. So you can have it as 782.61. Again, this is in PSI. Okay. So that's how you solve for the two boards. Okay, so depende pinagko-consider. But definitely, kung sino yung mas mataas yung fiber, mas malayo yung fiber from the neutral axis, medyo mas malaki yung stress po sa kanya. Okay? Question po? Sige po. If no more questions, so I'll give you 5 minutes to copy. Okay. So, yan. Sa akin, hindi ko pala na-record kanina. Okay, anyway. So, let's proceed with another example. So, the magnitude of the bending moment acting on the circular cross-section of a beam is 30,000 pound-feet. So, calculate the stresses at the following points of the cross-section. So, A, B, and then D. Okay? So, ganun din. Kaya lang for this one, kailangan natin the moment of inertia. Okay, so ano ang moment of inertia ng circle? So that is pi over 64 d squared. Okay, so for the circle, ang I ng ating circle, okay, so that is pi all over 64 and then d to the 4th, sorry, so that should be inches to the 4th, okay? Since meron kang butas, okay, so para makuha natin yon yung pinaka-IO natin, that would be pi all over 64. Siyempre, yung buo minus yung butas. O kaya, so pwede na nating d to the 4th and then minus d to the 4th. Okay? So, ito yung d to the 4th na yon. Okay? So, mula dito, okay? Mula dito hanggang dun. Okay? So, that is around 3 inches to. Okay? Tapos, mula naman dito hanggang dun sa pinakadulo, yun naman ay kalahati ng 4, no? So, we can have it as 4 inches. Okay? So, with this, I could now get for the value of the I. Okay? So, that would become equal to pi all over 64. Okay? Quantity, we can have it as 4 to the 4th. That is radius. Okay? So, we can have it, Control Z. Okay? So, ang kanyang diameter is 8. Okay? 8 to the 4th minus 6 to the 4th. Okay? So, you can now have for the I of value. Okay? Sa aking calculator. Okay. So, we can have it as pi all over 64 multiplied by 8 to the 4th minus 6 to the 4th. Okay? Or that's equal to 137.44. Again, we can have it as inches to the 4th. Okay? Ngayon, ang problema na lang natin is yung value ng C. Okay, ano ba yung magiging value ng C? Letter A muna tayo. Okay, at point A. Okay, at point A, ayun kasi siya sa dulo, okay, sa taas. So, kumbaga, ito, okay, if you will be having that distance from here, nasa radius, okay, radius siya nung 8, nung pinakadulo, no? Kasi ito ang radius nito mula doon hanggang doon, that is 8 inches. Okay, so this would now become 4 inches. Okay, so ang C natin would become 4 inches. Okay, so ilagay natin, meron na tayong FB equals to M, ang M natin is 30,000. Again, naka-pound feet siya, so i-multiply natin by 12 para maging inches. Okay? Ang C natin is 4 at ang I natin is 137.44. Okay? We can now have the FB. So that is equals to 30,000 times 12 times 4 all over 137.44. Or you can have it 10,477.30. Again, this is in PSI. Sir, is it tension or compression? Ano? Okay, so now, ganito, no? Para hindi kayo malito. Tatanungin nyo yung arrow. For example, you have there the arrow. Okay? Pag ganun daw siya. Di ba? Pag ganun siya. Ayan, pag ganyan eh. Oops. Dinaretso ko lang ano. Okay. Tanungin mo, ang laging tanong, sino ang compression? Okay. So, from neutral axis daw, sino ang compression? Sasabihin niya, uy, yun nasa baba. So, yung lahat ng nasa babang points, subjected to compression. Okay. So, lahat ng hindi niya itinuro, tension. Nasaan ba ito yung point A? Okay. Nasaan daw ang compression? Nasa baba. Okay. So, lahat ng nasa taas, that is already in tension. Okay. So, this one now would become in tension. Ibig sabihin, this is a tensile stress. Okay? So, we will be having for this one. Next, we can have it as point B. Okay? At point B, same lang, no? Ang nabago lang is the value of the C. Okay? At point B, nasan ba yung point B? Ayun. Nandoon naman siya, located naman dun sa may pinaka 6-inch diameter, ano? So, ang kalahati nun, we can have it as 3 inches. Okay? So, we can now have the FB is equals to, again, 30,000 times 12. Okay? Multiplied it by 4. And then, I will be having here over 137.44. So, I will now have the FB equal to, Okay, so 30,000 times 12 times 4 all over 137.44. So you can have, sorry, mali pala tong C ko. Oops. Okay. Okay, so it should be 3. Oh, should be 3. Okay, so you can have it as 7,857.97 PSI. Okay? Yung B, ano kaya yung B natin? Sabi natin okay yung moment mo ba? Nasa ng compression? Nasa baba daw. Nasa baba yung B. Okay? So we can have it as compression. Okay? So this is a compressive stress. Okay? This is a compressive stress. Next. Last D, we can have it as point C. Okay. Sorry. Point D. Alright? So, eto yun. Okay, so para kang gagawa lang naman yan, madali lang naman, para ka lang gagawa ng right triangle. So, ito daw yung right triangle. Ito yung diameter nito, ay yung radius niyan, measured yan, kalahati ng 8 inches, So, 4. So, mula dito, ito yung pinaka-C natin. Okay, so ayan yung pinaka-C mo. Okay? So, I could say C that is equals to 4, and then that would become sine of 60 degrees. Okay? So, I can now have the FB max. FB na lang. Is equals to, again, 30,000. Multiplied it by 12. And then, ang C ko is 4 sine of 60. Okay? All over, I will now have 137.44. Okay? So, check natin. So, that is equals to 4 sine of 60. Make sure na naka-degrees. So, you can have it as FB is equals to 9,073.61. Again, this is in PSI. Okay? So, this is now the answer for the problem 5.2. Okay. Question so far. May question po? Okay, sige. If walang question, I'll give you another 5 minutes to copy. Okay. So, let's have, and skip ko yung 5.3. Okay, kasi may table, pero hindi ko hindi ko dala yung iba yung gamit ko. Wala yung appendix. Okay? So, anyway, sa 5.4, we can have this problem. The bending moment acting on a triangular cross-section of a beam is M equals to 3.6 kilonewton meter. So, determine the maximum tensile and compressive bending stresses acting on the cross-section. Okay. So, the first thing is, what is the moment of inertia? Okay. So, for triangle, ang kanyang moment of inertia for a triangle is BH cube all over 36 instead na 12. Okay? So, madaling hanapin yung I. So, we can have it as B, which is 60. H is 120. Cube all over 36. So, you can now have your I, which is equal to 60 times 120 cube all over 36. So, i-scientific notation ko, so I can have as 2.88 times 10 to the 6. Okay, mm to the 4. Okay, now, may dalawa ulit tayong C. Okay, so I can have this C, no? So, mula daw dito sa neutral axis, ito yung plane na to, yung axis na yan. Okay. So, meron tayong dalawa. Dito, at saka dun. Okay. So, you can have this. Okay. So, meron akong C-top. Okay. Which is, syempre, yung centroid niyan, okay, from the base, you can have it over 3, no? So, 120 divided by 3, so you can have this one. C equals to 40. And then dito, you can have here as 80. Okay, now, if I am going to ask for compressive, okay, let's have it compressive strength. Okay, now, tanungin ulit natin yung arrow. Arrow, sino ba yung compression? Okay, ano tinuro niya? Oops, sa taas daw. So, ito daw yung pang-compression natin. Okay, so we will use C is equals to 80 mm. Okay, so that I can now have the FB equals to the M, which is 3.6. Kaya lang na kilonewton meter, so para maging newton millimeter, okay, so pwede natin i-times 10 to the 6, okay, para maging newton millimeter. So everyone is in newton, everything is in millimeter, so the resulting would be in megapascal. Okay, ano ang ating C? We can have it as 80 all over the I. Okay, so ang I natin, we have 2.88 times 10 to the 6. Okay, this is mm to the 4. Alright, so we can now have the FB equal to 3.6 times 10 to the 6 times 80 all over 2.88 times 10 to the 6. So we can have it as 100. Okay, we can 3.6 100 MPa. Okay, so again, everything is in newton and everything is in millimeter, so we can have wait, may nagtatanong yata. Okay, wait lang po Okay, so again, this is in compression. I-ano ko muna. Wait for a while. So, itatanong lang naman natin, sabi nga, sino ba yung compression? Okay, tinuro naman niya kung sa taas daw. Okay? So, with that, we can also solve. Okay? Sabihin na natin, sino naman yung tension? Okay? Tension. Stress to, no? Sorry, that's stress. Okay. Tensile. Stress. Okay? So, ganun din. Ang makakaibahan lang si C. Okay. So, sino daw yung compression? Oops, yung taas daw. So, definitely yung baba, iyon yung ating tension. So, we can have it as 40 mm. Alright? So, we can have it as FB is equals to 3.6 times 10 to the 6 para magiging newton millimeter. And then, multiplied it by 40 all over, we can have this as 2.88 times 10 to the 6. So you can have the FB equal to 3.6 times 10 to the 6 times 40 all over 2.88 times 10 to the 6. So you can now here 50 MPa. Alright. Yan. So again, this is now your tension. Okay? So question for this number. Okay, do you have question? Alright, if none, I'll give you another 5 minutes to internalize, copy, and if you have question, please unmute your microphone. I'm sorry, kanina I haven't heard your voice. Okay. So let's have this. Find the maximum bending stress in the rectangular wood. Okay, so walang binanggit, no? If this is in tension or is in compression. Okay, maybe, okay, wala siyang pakialam, or secondly is baka kasi equal lang naman. Okay, for a very symmetrical cross-section like this one, we could say that yung kanyang stress sa taas and then sa stress sa baba, value is the same. Okay, nagkaiba lang, yung isa is tension and then yung isa is compression. Okay, so let's now first have the reaction. So para alam, pag ganito, makapag-drawing tayo ng shear and then the moment diagram. So, since this is a fix, so we can have RB here. Okay. Tapos, yung second is horizontal, Kaya lang, wala naman tayo RBY. So, ito is RBX. Okay. And since this is equal to 0, Kasi wala naman tayong horizontal loads, okay? So, aside from that, meron kang moment, okay? So, ganito gawin natin, kapag kumukuha tayo ng moment equation para doon, so we consider the counterclockwise as negative, So, pero dito, ang gagawin natin, we will have this as, okay? So, pag ganyan. So, let's take note of that, okay? So, we can have it as M, okay? So, next, pwede tayong summation tayo ng moment, okay? So, I will take, pinakamadali pala, mag-summation na lang muna tayo ng vertical, okay? So, let's have this summation. Forces y or vertical equals to 0. So, pataas ang considered kong positive, okay? So, we can have it as 1,200. Then minus, we can have it as 180 multiplied it by 12, okay? Plus, we can have it as RBY. Again, that would become equal to 0. So, I could have it RBY equals to 180 times 12 minus 1,200. Okay? So, check natin if it will have a positive or negative. Okay? 180 times 12 minus 1,200. So, you can have it RBY. Okay, so tama naman that this is an upward. So, 960. Again, that is in pounds. Okay? So, now we could take summation moment at B equal to 0. Okay? So, I will consider positive to be wait lang. Okay. So, we can have it as 1,200. Okay? Anong moment arm niya mula sa B? You can have it as 12 feet. Okay? And then minus 180 multiplied it by 12. Ang moment arm niya is 6 feet. Okay? And then meron ako dito plus M. Okay? Equal to 0. So, positive siya because I consider that as positive moment. Okay? So, we can have it as the M equal to 180 times 12 times 6 minus 1,200 multiplied it by 12. So, I can have the M. So, that is 180 times 12 times 6 minus 1,200 times 12. So, okay, you can have it as negative 1,440 pound-feet. Okay, so what does it mean to have it na negative? Siya pala ay counterclockwise. Okay? So, kasi kinonsider natin as clockwise eh. So, ito pala, this is wrong. Okay, this is wrong. Ang tama pala niya is you can have it as counterclockwise. Okay? So, now we can now draw the shear and then the moment diagram. Okay? So, gawa natin ang shear and then the moment diagram. Alright? Okay. Nahin natin si shear. So, I will be having here upward. So, you can have here as 1,200. Okay. 1,200. Okay? And then, yung susunod, I can now have, at this point, is 1,200. Ilagay ko dito, 1,200 minus 180 multiplied it by 12. Okay, so that would be the next point. Ilan yon? 1,200 minus 180 times 12, so you can have it as negative 960. Okay. So, from there, siguro around dun ano. Ayan. Okay. So, you can have this. Alright. So, that is equals to negative 960. Then, meron akong reaction na 960 at this point. So, you will be having a 0. Okay? So, you can have it as 0. So, this now becomes your shear diagram. Okay? Okay, so that is now your shear diagram. So, for the moment, syempre, kailangan malaman natin ano muna yung distance nito. So, we want to know that distance. Okay? And that would be our x. So, if that would be x, then this distance would be equal to 12 minus x. Okay? For this triangle, we could say that 1,200 is to x is equals to 960 is to 12 minus x. Okay? So, ito, gamitan na natin ng ano, no? Sa emulator. Ayan, nawala. Okay? Emulator. Okay? Sige. So, I could have this one as 1,200 is to x. So, that would be alpha x. Okay? Equal. Alpha equal. And then 960 all over 12 again minus alpha x. Okay? Then shift, calc or solve. So you can press equal. So that is 6.67. So ito daw ay 6.67. Okay? So ito, ilan na lang to? So 12 minus 6.67. So that's 5.33. Okay? So now, wala akong moment dito, pero dito meron ako. So I can have this curve, ano? Something like this. Okay? Oop. Okay, mula dito hanggang doon, I will curve that upward. Okay? So, yung value na yon, so that would become equal to, okay? So, 1/2 of the base, which is 6.67, multiplied it by 1,200. Okay? And that would become equal to 0.5 of 6.67 times 1,200. So, you can have it as 4,002. Again, this is in pound foot. Okay? So, at that point, you can have it as 4,002. Okay? And then, ima-minus natin ano, kasi bababa tayo. So, from 1,000 to, ima-minus natin yung area nito. So, you can have it as 1/2 of 5.33 multiplied it by 960. So, you can have this value. So, 4,002 minus 1/2 of 5.33 times 960. So, you can have it as 1,443.6. Okay? So, you can have this one. Okay. Bababa ako. Pero may value pa yon. Alright? So, ang value nun, again, you can have it as 1,443.6. And then, meron ka dong moment, ano, Sir, ba't ganon? Sir, hindi nagtugma. 1,440 siya, tsaka 1,443. Again, you can have that because of the, ang tawag natin dito, because of the round off. Okay, so now, i-check nyo kapag hindi ka nag-round off. So, for example, yung nakuha natin doon na i-ano na natin. Okay, ayan, nakuha natin. No, i-save ko yan sa A. Okay, para itong term ko na to, so, I will be having here as 0.5. Okay, multiplied by A. Then, multiplied it by 1,200. Okay. So you can have actually this sakto yun 4,000. Okay? So ayusin natin ano. O sige, i-ano natin para magsakto. Okay, so 4,000. So ito magiging 4,000. Okay? Tapos ito instead gagawin ko to as 12 minus a ano. Okay? So check natin if we will get exact value. So that is 4,000 minus 1 half of 12 minus a. Okay? And then multiplied it by 960. So is equals to 1,440. Eksakto na, no? So you can have it as 1,440. Again, this is pound foot. Okay? And then meron akong counterclockwise which is negative, or that would be downward. So we can have here as downward. Okay? So magsi-zero yun. Okay? So now this is the maximum moment. Okay? Now, meron ba akong, tinatanong kasi niya is the maximum bending stress. So, definitely, eto siya. Okay? So, we can have it now the value of the I. Okay? So, we can have I equals to BH cube all over 12. So, you can have it as B H cube, and then you can have it all over 12. So, you have the I for 8 cube all over 12. So that's 170.67. Okay, that is inches to the fourth. Now, we can now have the M equals to 4,000 pound foot. And then of course, your C would now become equals to 4 inches. Okay, whether it is on top or on the bottom, okay, we will be having that as our stresses. So I now have here the FB. 4,000 multiplied it by 12, no? Para maging pound inch. And then yung C natin is multiplied it by 4 inch. And then yung I natin is equals to 170.67. So I have now the FB equals to 4,000 times 12 times 4 over 170.67. So you can have it as 1,124.98. Okay? And this now is in PSI. Okay. Question. Okay. At this cross-section, no? So, ganyan yung cross-section niya eh. So, meron ka ditong top and then meron ka ditong bottom. Okay. Ngayon, alin ang tension dyan? Alin ang compression? Okay. Again, nakadepende tayo dito sa positive. Okay. Kapag positive yung moment, okay, for a positive moment, ang top ang ating compression. Okay? Pag negative, ang bottom natin, siya ang tension. Saan siya galing? Kasi pag ganyan, kapag positive yung moment, nakangiti. Okay? Again, for negative moment, ang top natin ay ang tension at ang bottom natin ay ang compression. Okay, saan siya galing? Kapag malungkot yung beam mo. Okay, so that is in negative moment. Okay, so for this time, ito ay compression and then this is in your tension. Okay, however, sa tinatanong naman is hindi mahalaga, immaterial, so wala naman sinasabi kung tension or compression. So simply, we have 1,124.98 PSI. Question po. Sige po. If no more question, I'll give you another 5 minutes to copy. Okay, so let's have this problem. A beam with a square cross-section shown carries a maximum bending moment of 8,000 pound-foot. Determine the maximum bending stress if the beam is first oriented as shown, and then shown in B. Okay, both orientation, the z-axis is the neutral axis. That is the axis which the bending moment acts. Okay, so yun lang sinasabi niya, o yung dulong statement, sinasabi niya nandun yung neutral axis, which is very true naman. So since we have here a very symmetrical cross section. Okay, so ang dali-dali ng 1. Okay, so letter A. Okay, ano lang kailangan natin? We just need the value of the I. So that is B H cube, again, all over 12. No? So we can have the B, and then the H, again, cube, and then you can have it as all over 12. So you can have the I. So it's B H cube all over 12. So you can have it as 108 inches to the fourth. Okay? So that, yung C natin, okay, from here, okay, hanggang doon, dali lang, ano, you can have it as 3 inches. So ang C ko is 3 inches. So I have now the FB. So FB ko, I can have the maximum moment 8,000 daw, pero gagawin ko siyang inches. So times ko by 12. Okay? So again, ang C ko is 3, and then ang I ko is equals to 108. Okay? So you can have this one. 8,000 times 12 times 3 all over 108. Okay? So you can have 2,666.67 again in PSI. So you can have it as FB. So this is now the answer for letter A. Okay? Ang mahirap lang naman is yung letter B, ano? Okay, bakit? Kasi naka-orient siya na para siyang diamond. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin dyan, okay, pwede natin siyang hatiin sa dalawang triangle. Okay? So, meron ako ditong triangle na to. Yan. Okay? And then, yan. So, dalawa siya, no? So, yung taas at saka baba. Okay? Now, alam natin that for a triangle, okay, let me draw that triangle, ano, sample. Okay? So, let's say, let me draw. Right? Okay? So, mula dyan hanggang doon, again, nandito yung centroid mo. Okay? Kumbaga, nandyan yung inyong Z para dyan, ano? Ginaya ko lang yung ano, no? So, again, ang ano nito is we have here B H cube all over 36. Tama? Ngayon, ang pwede kong gawin, I will try to transfer here sa bottom. Okay? Meron akong transfer formula. So, that distance, again, this is 2/3 of H. Okay? And then this is H all over 3, no? If this is your total H. Alright? So, ibig sabihin, ita-transfer ko siya. So, para ma-transfer ko at this ZZ sample, ano? Okay, so I will be having here IZZ para ma-transfer ko sa baba, and that would become equal to, from the Z, which is BH cube all over 36, plus the area, which is 1/2 BH. Okay, multiplied it by the transfer distance, which is H all over 3, and then squared. Okay, so ito yung IX plus or AD squared. Yan yun, ano. Okay, so check natin kung ano yung magiging I niya dito sa line na yun. Okay, so we can have it as BH cube all over 36, plus we can have it as this one is B, again, H cube all over 2 times 3 is equals to 6. Okay, so gawin kong 36 parehas, i-multiply ko, so I can have here 6 and then 36. Okay, so I hope you got that. Ginawa ko lang similar fraction. So you can now have as 7. Tama ba? Sorry. This is 9. Yun. Okay. Oop, this is 9 pala. Okay? Kasi 3 squared, 9 times 2. Actually, this is 18. Okay? So, para maging 36 siya, ang gagawin ko, so we can have it as BH cube all over 36. Ang gagawin ko, i-multiply ko ng 2, both numerator and denominator. So, I can now have 2 BH cube equals to 36. Pwede ko na silang ipag-add. They are now similar terms, no? So, 1 plus 2 equals to 3 BH cube all over 36. In short, in IZZ or sa bottom ng triangle, I can now have 36 divided by 3. So, that would become BH cube all over 12. Okay? So, ibig sabihin pala, kasi nandito yung kailangan ko eh. So, para wala na akong transfer formula, so, ang gagamitin ko na lang BH cube over 12. Okay? So, yung BH cube over 12 na yun, nandun na sa bottom ng pinaka-triangle mo. Eh, nandun din naman yung pinaka-centroid. So, wala ka ng transfer formula. Okay? So, ngayon, ano na lang yung binon? Okay, 6 and then 6. Of course, if this is a square, 90 to. So, this is a special. So, this would become 6 square root of 2. Okay ba yun? Okay, now, again, if this is, ito is 6 to. Okay? Then, this one would become 3. Okay, yung distance na to. Okay, ito, ano to, trigo to eh. Okay, ito kalahati ng 6 square root of 2. So, that's 3 square root of 2. Okay, if this is 90, so, definitely, this is now a 45-degree angle. Okay, and then this one now is become equal to 90 degrees. Okay, so, ibig sabihin, yung height ko na to, ilan na siya? Okay, so, height mo na yun, again, that is 3 square root of 2. Okay, so, para makuha ko si IZZ, okay, dalawang area ko na lang. Okay, so you can have it as B, which is 6 square root of 2. H is equal to 3 square root of 2 all over 12. Okay, so this is now your IZZ. Okay, so equal natin. So 2 times 6 square root of 2 times 3 square root of 2 multiplied over 12. Okay, so you can have it as 6. Okay, so you can have this as 6. Tama ba? BH cube. Sorry, that should be in cube. Oops, cube. Oops. Ulitin ko na nga lang. 2 times 6 square root of 2 multiplied by 3 square root of 2 cube all over 12. Okay. Okay. So, I now have here, again, ilan siya? Ayun, nakita nyo, 108 pa rin. Okay. So, we can still have as here as 108 inches to the fourth. Okay. So, almost, same lang pa silang dalawa, no? So, you can have now equals to FB is equals to M C all over I. So, you can have it as 8,000. Kaya lang this time, ang C mo, times 12 na, no? Ano ang CC kong gagamitin dito? Hindi na 3. So, that would become 3 square root of 2 na. Okay? All over the I, which is 108. So, you can have the FB equal to 8,000 times 12 times 3 square root of 2 all over 108. Okay? So, you can have as 3,771.24. Again, this is in PSI. Okay? So, this is now the answer for the second problem. Okay? So, ang naging problema lang naman is pagkuha ng I, ano? Okay? So, yun lang naman yung naging problem natin. Other than that, wala nang iba. Okay? Question po. Sige, if no more question, I will give you another 5 minutes to copy and reflect. Okay, so let's have this problem. For the cantilever shown in the figure, find maximum bending stress and its location. And letter B, the maximum bending stress at a 20 millimeter from top of the beam on section B. Alright. Unahin muna natin yung A, okay? So, para malaman natin yung nasaan yung maximum. Again, yung ating cross-section is just a rectangular. It means yung stress niya sa taas at stress niya sa baba numerically equal. Ibig sabihin, same sila ng value except that yung isa is nasa tension ay isa ay nasa compression. Since ang tinatanong is the maximum bending stress, walang sinabi kung tension or compression, either of the two. Kung alin yung mas malaki yung value sa dalawa, iyon yung kukunin natin. Okay? So, it comes up to the point na dapat ang makuha natin is the maximum moment. Okay? So, with this, i-check natin definitely no for maximum bending moment. So, unahin muna natin yung reaction. Okay? So, let's have the reaction first. So, I have here. Okay. So, you can have it as RC Y. Again, I will denote this as my moment. Okay. Okay. So, I will now have the summation of moment. Okay, summation, sige, summation tayo ng forces vertical equal to 0. So, upward would be our positive. So, we can have it as RCY, okay, minus 1/2 of 6 multiplied it by 1 kilonewton per meter. So, equal to 0. So, I can now have the RCY is equals to, ilan yun? 3 kilonewton. Okay, so you can have this one, 1/2 of 6 times 1. Okay, next, I can have summation moment at C. Again, that would become equal to 0. I will take note this as positive clockwise. Okay, so other than that, I just have minus 1/2 of 6 multiplied it by 1 multiplied by the moment arm. Okay, nasan ba kasi yun? Andito yun eh, somewhere here eh. Okay, so yan yung resultant. Okay, ito yun. So yung resultant na yun, ito yun. So the moment arm would become equal to 6 all over 3. So 6 all over 3. Okay, and then meron akong moment, I will take that as positive and that would become equal to 0. So ang M ko is equals to, that would become 1/2. So that is 3 multiplied it by 2. So you can have it as 6 kilonewton meter. Okay, so now we can now draw the shear and then the moment diagram. So let's draw that. First, lagay natin. Okay. Alright. Okay. So since we already have this one, okay, as our curve. So paano yan? Sige nga, paano kaya magka-curve yun? Okay. So we will be having here, saan ko ilalagay? Sige, dito na lang. Positive, negative, negative, positive, deck, and then ink, no? So we can have that. So ang ano natin, we can have as a negative, and then that is increasing in direction. So you can have it as increasing and then negative. So we can have this curve. Okay? So I will try to curve that. Ganun. Ay. Sorry. Pasmado. Ayan. Sample na lang, ano? Ayan, ganyan. Okay. Okay. So, this is now our shear diagram. Okay. So, again, ang kanyang shear diagram is yung area nito. So, you can have it as negative 3. Okay. So, negative 3 kilonewton. And then, aangat ka doon ng 3 for the CY. So, you can have that 0. Okay? So, next, we will be having the moment. Okay? So, wala akong moment pero I have this area. Okay? So, ano nga yung area nito? So, if the parabola is in 1/3, so this one would become equals to 2/3. So, we can have it for the moment equals to 2/3 of base. Ang base natin is 6 at ang height natin is 3. So, your moment is equal to, so you can have this as cancelled. You can have as 12. Tama ba to? Check nga natin. 1/2 times 6 times 1 multiplied by 6 all over 3. Okay, so that's correct. Ito, bakit? Ay, ba't ba ako nag 2/3? Sorry. It should be 1/3 lang. Yun. 1/3. So, tama yun. So, tama yun na that is 6 kilonewton meter. Okay? Again, this is in increasing. Okay? Kaya lang negative yung area. So, again, increasing negative. So, you will be having here this one. Okay? Oh. Ano yan? Oh. Ano yung napindot ko? Okay, sige. Okay, again, ganun pa rin. Oops, pangit. Ganun pa rin yan. Okay, ang kaibahan lang nilang dalawa, ano? Yung degree. Okay? So, again, this is a 2-degree curve. This is 1-degree curve. And then this is in 3-degree curve. Alright? This is now the moment. So again, this is negative 6 kilonewton meter. Kaya lang meron akong positive doon. Okay, positive clockwise yan eh. So aangat ako ng 6. Ayun, close ng 0. Okay? So for this, I could tell that my M max is equals to 6 kilonewton meter. Okay? And then my I would be equals to BH cube over 12. BH cube all over 12. So you can have it as B as 50 times 150 cube all over 12. So you can now have the value of I. So that is 50 times 150 cube all over 12. So again, this is 14.0625, okay, times 10 to the 6. Again, this is mm to the 4. Okay? So again, yung C natin, sabi ko nga sa inyo, they are perfectly symmetrical. So kahit taas or baba pa yan, same lang sila. So that is 75 and this is also 75 mm. Okay? So you have that. So now, pwede na akong kumuha ng maximum FB. So FB is equals to M, which is 6. Kaya lang naka kilonewton meter, gagawin kong newton millimeter. So I will have is times 10 to the 6. Okay, ang C is 75 all over I. So that is 14.0625 times 10 to the 6. So I have now the FB. Again, this is the maximum. So 6 times 10 to the 6 times 75, 14.0625 times 10 to the 6. Okay, so you can have it as 32 megapascal. Okay, this is both in tension or compression, ano? So parehas lang silang dalawa. Kasi nga yung top natin at saka yung bottom, same lang yung C. Okay? Pero okay, let me ask again, nasaan yung ating tension? Okay? Again, our moment is negative. Okay? So again, kapag negative, ganyan ano, nasaan ang tension? Nandito yung tension, nandito yung compression. Okay? So, the top experiences tension and then the bottom experiences compression. Alright? Next, the problem is now is, ano daw naman yung bending stress at point B. O, dito, ano, sa point B muna tayo. So, kailangan nating makuha yun. Ano ba yung moment dun? Okay? So, pinakamadali para hindi ka na, actually, pwede naman, kaya lang hanapin mo pa yung value dun. Okay? Ang pinakamadali niyan, i-cut na lang. Okay, cut na lang tayo dun. Okay, so kapag kasi nag-cut ako ng section dun, okay, example, ito siya. Okay. Tapos, I will be having here, Example, Okay? So, we can have it as point B. Okay, which is 2 meters. Okay, so meron ako ditong RB, Y, and then meron din ako ditong moment. Okay? Ngayon, itong value na to hindi ko alam. Okay? Pero pwede natin siyang gawing isang malaking triangle and then by ratio and proportion, okay? By ratio and proportion. Okay? So, I can have as 1 kilonewton per meter in the length of 6 meters is equals to, okay, hindi natin alam. So, Y, kilonewton, I will have that. This one as Y. Okay. Sa loob ng 2 meters span. Okay. So, you can have it, the Y is equals to 2 over 6. Okay. 2 all over 6. Again, this is in kilonewton per meter, or that's equals to 1/3 kilonewton per meter. Okay. So, you can have it as 1/3. Okay. So, ang pinakamaganda niyan, since ang kailangan ko lang naman is moment, I will just take the moment at point B. Okay? Ano yung moment doon? So, 1/2 multiplied it by 2 multiplied it by 1/3, and then the moment arm. Ano yung moment arm? That is 2 all over 3. This is now the moment at B. I just took the moment on that part. So, 0.5 times 2 times 1/3 multiplied it by 2/3. So, you can have it as 2 all over 9. Okay? So, you have 2 over 9. Again, this is in kilonewton meter. Okay? Ngayon, since meron ako, sabi niya, at section B, dapat ang kukunin natin, hindi naman yung pinaka-maximum C. Okay? Anong sabi niya? From this one, ang kukunin ko dapat is 20 millimeters from top. So, if this is 20 millimeters, ilan to? So, this now would become your C. So, that is equals to 75 minus 20. Or yung C mong nagagamitin, it should be 55 millimeters. So, eto, ano daw yung stress dyan? Okay, di ba pag nagkaroon tayo dito ng stress, we do that. Okay? We do that. Okay? So, ito yung hinahanap natin. Okay? At this point. Okay? So, yun yung hinahanap nating stress. So, again, pwede na akong kumuha ng FB. So, again, 2 over 9 kilonewton, kaya lang, times 10 to the 6 natin. Okay, M. And then, ang C ko is 55 all over the I. So, ang I ko is ilan? 14.025 times 10 to the 6. So, you can have the FB equals 2 over 9 times 10 to the 6 times 55 all over 14.0625 times 10 to the 6. Okay? So, you can have as 0.86 ups. 0.869. Okay. Again, this is in megapascal. Okay? So, this is now the stress. Okay. Ngayon, kung papansin niyo, this is a cantilever beam, ano? So, that is actually the reason kung bakit may makikita yung mga cantilever sa bahay nyo na tapering. Okay? So, from here, parang tapering na ganyan. Okay? Tapos, doon nakapatong yung slab. It is because doon sa mga end, doon sa mga free end natin na malapit, maliliit yung stress doon. Maliliit yung moments, maliliit yung shear. Trans lumalapit ka doon sa support, lumalaki yung moment mo, lumalaki yung stress mo, kaya nagre-require ng malaking cross section. Okay? So that's why you will see cantilever sections like that. Okay? So sige po. I'll give you 5 minutes to copy if you have questions, so you may ask po. Ay, sorry, hindi pala dinig. Okay, so ano yun? Tension ano? Kasi from there, you will be having the negative moment. So, ganito yung itsura niya. So, ang top natin ay nasa tension. Since from here, ang hinahanap natin is nasa taas ng neutral axis, nasa top. So, we consider that as tension. Okay po? Okay. So, let's have this problem. A steel band 20 millimeter wide and 0.6 millimeter thick runs over a pulley of diameter D. Find the maximum bending stress in the saw if D is equals to 500. Okay? What is the smallest value of B for which the bending stress in the saw does not exceed 400 megapascal? Okay. By the way, dun sa derivation ng atin ng MC over I, no? So, nagkaroon tayo ng curvature na tinatawag. Okay, so yung relationship ng curvature sa moment and flexural rigidity would be this one. Okay, so we can have it as 1 all over rho is equals to M all over EI. Okay, you may note this one. Okay, you can use that one. Now, nasan po yung rho dyan? So, if there is a bending, okay, on the material, okay, from the center, yung kanyang, from the center papunta dun, okay, sa ano na yun, yun yung po yung rho. Kumbaga, that is the radius of curvature, okay? So, again, this is in radius of curvature. with this, ang rho natin dito, kasi kung ang diameter daw niya is 500, so ang rho natin dito, technically, 500 millimeters all over 2. Okay, so you can have it the rho as 250 millimeters. Okay, now, so from the FB, no? So from the FB, okay, from the FB equals to M C all over I. Okay, kukunin ko yung value ng M. So my M would become equals to FB. Okay, I all over C. Okay. Ito, ano rin yan stress din yan. Okay. So, pwede kong sabihin, stress I all over C. Ngayon, ilipat ko doon, palitan ko. So, I can now have as 1 all over rho is equals to sigma I all over C all over, you can have it as the EI. Okay, which gives me, okay, so, cancel ko to. Okay, pwede ko yung i-cancel. So, tingnan natin para makita nyo, no? So, sigma I all over C and then multiplied it by reciprocal nito. So, that's 1 all over EI. So, cancel to. So, you can have it as 1 over rho is equals to sigma all over E sub C. E C, not sub C. Okay? So, that is our rho. Now, ang tinatanong is find the maximum bending stress. So, ito yung po yung tinatanong sa atin, ano? So, meron tayong rho, meron tayong E, binigay naman. Ano yung C? Okay. Ngayon yung C, ganito po, ano? Kapag kinat ko to, let's say yung so na yon. Okay, if I'm going to cut that, okay, ito yung kanyang, okay, ayan yung so, no? Tapos, ito yung neutral axis mo. Ito daw yung 20. Sabi niya, it is 20 millimeter wide and this is around 0.6 millimeter thick. Okay. So, yung pinaka-siko from the center hanggang dun, kalahati lang. So, that's around 0.3 millimeters. Okay. So, that would be the value of our C. So, let us check. 1 all over rho. Ang rho ko, again, 250 is equals to sigma all over EC. So, ang EC ko is 200. Kaya lang nagigapascal, gawin kong times 10 to the 3 para maging megapascal. Okay? And then, imumultiply natin by the value of C, which is 0.3 mm. Okay? Kaya rearranging, I can now have sigma equals to 200 times 10 to the 3 multiplied by 0.3 all over 250. So, you can have this stress. So, 200 times 10 to the 3, 0.3 all over 250. So, you can have it as 240. Again, that is in megapascal. Okay? So, that's it. Again, from that. No? So, the next is we are being asked as a question. Wala yung question sa akin. Okay, okay. What is the smallest value of D for which the bending stress? Ito daw yung bending stress, ano? Okay, so again from here, from this formula, okay, hinahanap natin is yung D. So, dito naman ang mawawala sa atin yung rho. Okay, so solving for rho. Okay, so we can have it as rho is equals to E C all over bending stress. Okay, so we can have it as E, which is 200 gigapascal or times 10 to the 3 para maging megapascal. And then again, ang C natin is 0.3 all over, we can have it the stress. Okay, sabi niya shall not exceed 400. So I can have 400 megapascal. So this is now the rho. So that's 200 times 10 to the 3 times 0.3 all over 400. So that's equals to 150 millimeters. But this is the radius only, no? Eh, ang hinahanap is yung D. So, we can say that D is equals to 2 rho. So, that's 2 multiplied it by 150 mm Okay, so the D requirement is around 300 millimeters. Okay, so this is now the answer for this problem. Okay, so those two. Okay, again, new concept, we can have this 1 over rho equals to ML over EI for the bending stress. Question? If no more question, again, I'll give you another 5 minutes to copy and internalize. Okay, so let's have this problem. A W250 by 20. Lagay ko na yung property, ano. So, sige. I have here Sx equals to 307 times 10 to the 3 mm cube. And then you can have it the weight, okay, is equals to 28.5 kilogram per meter. Okay, so you can have that. A W250 by 28.4, a section is used as a cantilever. Okay, so lagyan natin. Sige, let's have to draw it. So I have here. Okay. Alright, so and then, meron ka daw ditong uniformly distributed, no? Okay. Okay, so you can have that. Okay? Ngayon, dun daw, in addition, okay, yan yung total, no? So, total na yan. Okay? Pero, sabi niya, there are just W in addition to the weight. Okay, so ibig sabihin, yung total mo, meron kang dalawa, no? So that is the WO plus yung W ng self-weight. O, lagyan ko ng S yun, no? So, for the self-weight. Okay, so ito hinahanap natin. Sabi niya, determine the largest uniformly distributed load, WO, in addition to the weight. Okay, so the FB, okay, yung FB natin, shall not exceed 120 megapascal. So, ang length natin, again, this is around 6 meters. Okay, so pwede ka mag-moment diagram. Pero dito, para ka lang nagmo-moment dito, ano ang moment kapag uniformly distributed load, ang maximum moment dyan is equals to WL as tapos ang kanyang tawag dito, moment arm is kalahati is L all over 2. So that's equals to WL squared all over 2. Palaging ganyan yung maximum, no? Kapag uniformly distributed, tapos sa cantilever. So you can have it as W. So WT. Okay? And then L is 6 squared all over 2. So this is your M max. Okay? So that is 36. Tama? 6 times 6, 36 divided by 2. So you can have it as 18 omega 3. Okay? So this is your M maximum. Okay? Now, so meron ako dito 120 megapascal. So sabi natin, FB equals to, you can have it as M all over SX. Okay? Or S. Okay? So, to solve for the M, I can now have the FB multiplied it by the SX. So, I can have the FB which is 120 megapascal multiplied by the SX which is 307 times 10 to the 3. Okay? mm cube. So, ang resulting moment natin dito is in Newton millimeter. So, 120 multiplied by 307 times 10 to the 3. So, that's around 36.84 times 10 to the 6 Newton millimeter. So, this is the maximum moment. Okay? So, para maging kilonewton meter yan, i-divide natin by, so that is your M. I-divide natin yan by 10 times 10 to the 6 or that is equals to 36.84 kilonewton. Again, this is in meter. This is now your M. Okay? So, the M, okay, based on the maximum stress, the M should become equals to M max. Okay? So, we can have this 36.84 is equals to M, which is 18 multiplied by omega T. So, ang omega T natin, divide by 36.84 divided by 18. So, you can have it as 2.05. Again, this is in kilonewton meter. So, this is now become kilonewton per meter. Okay? So, you can have that as WT. But for the WT, okay, sabi natin, kailangan natin si WO. So, we need to WT minus WS. So, ang WT ko is 2.05 kilonewton per meter. So, ito dapat kilonewton per meter din. Paano ba natin to gagawin newton? Kilonewton per meter. So, i-multiply natin 28.5, multiply natin by 9.81, magiging newton na yon. Okay? So, para maging kilonewton, and then i-divide natin by 1,000. Okay, so again, this now should be in kilonewton per meter. So what is now our WO? So that's 2.05 minus 28.5 times 9.81 all over 1,000. So you can have it as 1.77 kilonewton per meter. So this is now the solution and the answer for this problem. Question po. Okay, so again, if no more question, you may have to internalize and copy. I'll give you another 5 minutes. Okay, so let's have this problem. An S380 by 74 section is used as a simply supported beam to carry the uniformly distributed load of magnitude 3W and concentrated W. What is the maximum allowable value of W if the working stress in bending is 120 megapascal? Okay. So, for this one, okay, so check natin kung hanapin natin yung ating S, no? So, I will give you now the S on the table, no? Or kaya kapag binigay ko, magbibigay na ako ng value ng S. What's that? S. So, we can have 10,000 60 times 10 to the 3. Okay. So also for this problem, okay, you may neglected yung weight ng beam, ano. Okay. So I will give, dapat na merong neglect weight of beam. Weight of beam, no? Neglected yan. Okay, kasi nagbigay may loadings tayo eh. Okay, now ang gagawin natin, we will now take the shear and then the moment diagram. Okay. So, now, dito, okay, kunin ko muna yung mga reaction. Okay? Tsaka dito. Okay, so, we can have it as RA and you can have it as RD. Okay? So, ang pwede kong gawin, I will take the moment about A. Okay, summation ako ng moment about A. Again, equal to 0. Okay? Pag ganito yung aking positive. Okay? So, I have, itong total na tinatawag na yan, W yan, tas multiply by 3. So, ibig sabihin, yung total na niya yan, iyan na yung pinaka-resultant niya, no? So, yung pinaka-R niya is equals to 3W. Okay? So, you can have it as 3W. Moment R niya is 1.5. Okay? Plus another W, multiplied it by 3, and then 1. So, we can have as 4 meters. Minus RD. Okay, multiplied it by 5 meters, and that would become equal to 0. So now we can now have the RD is equal to, okay, so we can have it as 3W multiplied it by 1.5 plus 4W, and then you divide it by 5. Okay, so 3 times 1.5, okay, ilan yun? 4.5. 1.5. 4.5 of W plus 4W all over 5. Okay, equals to 8.5 of W all over 5. So, yung RD ko in decimal, 8.5 over 5, no? 8.5 divided by 5, or that is 1.7 of W. So, you can have it as 1.7 of W. I can now take summation moment, summation forces vertical equal to 0, positive upward. So, I can now have the RA, okay, minus 3W, minus W, plus 1.7W equal to 0. So, I can now have the RA equals to 3 plus 1, 4, 4 minus 1.7. Okay, so you can have it as 2.3 of W. Okay, so you can now have this reaction, 2.3 of W. So what we will do now is, again, we draw the shear and then the moment diagram. Alright, yan. Okay, oops, we can have this one. Okay, so angat tayo. So we will be having here okay, angat tayo ng 2.3. Okay, so you can have it as 2.3. Okay, and then bababa ako ng 3W, pero ito naka 0 to, so meron ka na dapat 1 degree curve. So you can have it as 2.3. Ito ko nalagay 2.3 minus 2.3 of W. 2.3 of W minus 3W. So you can negative 0.7 of W. Okay? So now you can have this. Oops. Ano yan? Okay, so from there, so again, this is negative 0.7 of W. Walang ibang force after nun, so you can have here, and then again, minus W ka, so that is negative 1.7 of W. No other force between 2, and then 0. Okay, so this is now the moment, the shear diagram for this beam. Okay? Yan yung ating shear. Okay. Ngayon, ang hinahanap kasi natin is bending stress, so we need to solve for the moment, no? So, ito, yun, nandito kasi yung, ano niyan maximum moment, at point of zero shear. So, kailangan alamin natin yon. So, we can find it as x, then this is 3 minus x. By ratio in proportion, I could say that 2.3 of W is to x is equals to 0.7 of W is to 3 minus x. Okay, so by ratio and proportion. Okay, cancel na to. Okay, so you can have it as 2.3 all over x is equal to 0.7 over 3 minus x. Oops, x. Shift. So I can say that my x, yan na natin. Matagal-tagal pala dito. Saan ang ating calculate. Okay. So again, we can have it as 2.3 is to x is equals to 0.7 is to 3 minus x. So shift solve equal to, so ayan, na ganyan so isa pa, equal pa natin. Mahabang masyado. So ano na yan, iyan na natin 2.3. We know that. Ayun, sorry, lumabas na 2.3. Okay, dapat kasi wala yung L minus R, so ito daw ay 2.3. Okay, so this one is 2.3 meters. Okay? So, kaya na nating i-drawing yung shear and moment, yung shear diagram niya, yung moment diagram. So again, we can have here yung paganon. So area nun. So again, that is 1/2 of 2.3 by 2.3 of W. Okay? So that is equals to 0.5 of 2.3 times 2.3 of W. So we can have as 2.645 of W. So you can have this point as 2.645 of W. Okay? So if this is 3 minus x, so that is now 0.7 meters. Okay, so next point, 2.645 W minus 1/2 of 0.7 of W multiplied it by 0.7 meters. So equal to 2.645 minus 1/2 of 0.7 times 0.7. So you can have it as 2.4. Okay, 2.4 of W. Okay, so hanggang doon, pag ganito yung curve niya, and that is 2.4 of W. And then, from 2.4 of W, ima-minus natin yung area nito. So, that's around 0.7 of W multiplied it by 1 meter. So, that is 2.4 minus 0.7. So, you can have it as 1.7 of W. Okay? Pero, pag ganun na siya, you can have this. Pag ganun na siya. Okay? And then, ima-minus natin from 1.7 of W, ima-minus natin yung area na to. So, again, that is 1.7 of W multiplied by 1 meter. So, again, you will be having here 0. Okay? So, from there, meron ka ng 0. Okay? So, uh, this is now your moment diagram. Alright? Okay? So, it means, haba, no? So, it means we can have it, the M maximum would become equals to 2.645 of W. Okay? So, you have now the maximum. Ngayon, from the FB equals to M, okay, all over SX. Okay, all over S, no? So, meron na akong FB. So, that is 120 megapascal. Okay? And then again, I have here the M. Okay? Kaya lang, para maging kilonewton meter siya, so, ito times ko na by 6. Okay? Para maging Newton millimeter siya. Okay? Okay, and then you can have the SX as 1060 times 10 to the 3. So you can now have the M equal to, okay, yan na muna natin, ano, so yung M muna, so 120, okay, let's have this simulator or emulator. Okay. So you can have it as 120 is equal to, so you can have it as M as X and then times 10 to the 6. Okay, over 10, 60 times 10 to the 3. Okay, and then shift. So you can have 127.2. Again, this is in kilonewton meter already. Okay? So, i-equate ko siya for the Nmax as in equal to 127, or yung M should become equal to your M maximum. So, you can have it as 127.2 is equals to 2.645 of W. Okay? So, that's equal to yung W natin. Okay. Ang hinahanap naman is, ano, no? Ano ba hinahanap? Maximum allowable value of W. So, 127.2 divided by 2.645. Or that's equals to 48.09. Okay? Again, this is in kilonewton na to, no? So, you can have this kilonewton. Okay? So, this is now the answer for this question. Okay? Question po. Okay, if no more questions, so I'll give you 5 minutes to copy. Okay. So let's have this. A 200-pound man starts at end A of a wooden plank and walk towards to end of B. If the plank will fail when the maximum bending stress is 6,000 psi, find the furthest distance x that the man can walk safely. Alright. Okay. So for this one, okay, ganun pa din. Parang it's a matter of shear and moment diagram pa rin, ano? But we need to solve for, of course, the reactions. Okay, sabi ko nga sa inyo, yung reaction niyan, parang fraction lang ng distances. Okay, so ibig sabihin, yung mas malayo sa kanya, this would become x all over 12. Okay, and then this is 200 pounds. Okay, kasi 200 yan eh. Okay, so ito, if that is x and then this is equal to 12 minus x. So you can have it as 12 minus x all over 12 and then multiplied it by 200. Okay? So we do not know no kung nasaan yon, pero pwede natin siyang gawa ng shear and then the moment diagram. So for the shear of diagram, meron bang ano ang 200 over 12? 200 divided by 12? Wala. Okay, okay na. Yan na lang natin. Sige, 200, 12, angat tayo. That is 12 minus x all over 12 of 200. Okay. Kaya lang, mula dito, okay, wala ka. Then, bababa ka ng 200. So, that is equal to 12 minus x all over 12 multiplied it by 200. Okay. And then, minus by 200. Okay. So, what would happen this one? So, ibig sabihin, pwede mong i-factor out yung 200, ano? So, you can have it as 200 and then multiplied by 12 minus x all over 12 and then minus 1. Okay? So, ito, yan, algebra to, ano? Okay? So, ito, pwedeng ganun 12 mo, ano? So, magiging 12 minus x minus 12 all over 12. Okay? So, equals to 200. 12 minus 12, 0. So, cancel yon. So, you can have it as negative x all over 12. Okay? Or that's negative 200 x all over 12. Okay, so ibig sabihin pala, nag-negative na siya, so somehow nandun na, no? So that is negative 200 x all over 12. And then hanggang doon sa dulo, wala na, no? Ay, ayan, wala na. Ayun, 200x over 12, sakto, nag-0. Okay, so this is now your shear diagram. Okay. Okay, whatever, ang kailangan naman natin is actually just the moment diagram itself. So, alam ko dito nag-cross, nandyan yung maximum ko. Okay? So, nandyan yung aking maximum moment. Okay? Para hindi ko na pahirapan sarili ko. So, actually, yun lang din naman yun kasi this is in x. Okay? So, yung moment diagram naman doon, okay, ganun lang naman siya. And then, ganun. I-ruler ko na. Okay, so you can have this one and then from there back to 0. Okay, so area nito, ano ba yung area nun? Okay, so actually mas madali kasi parang dapat yung area nito area din nun, tama ba? So padaliin ko na lang, ito yung area kasi nito is 12 minus x, no? Okay, yun is same lang, dapat silang kalalabasan whether this area or this area, same lang, no, logically. Okay, sige, ito na lang kunin natin. So this area is equals to 12 minus x all over 12 multiplied it by 200. Okay, ito yung height niya, pero ang base niya is yung x mo. Okay, so this is now your m maximum. Okay, yan, m maximum. Now for the FB equals to mc all over I. Okay, MC all over I, no? Kunin muna natin yung I. So, again, ang B niya is 12. 0.75 cube all over 12. So you can now have the I. So 12 times 0.75 cube all over 12. So you can have it as 0.421875 inches to the fourth. And then ang C natin, of course, we can have 0.75 all over 2. So 0.75 divided by 2 or 0.375 inches. So, meron na ako ngayong FB. Okay, so that is 6,000 PSI. Okay? So, equals to M. Ang C, 0.375 all over the I, which is 0.421875. So, I can now solve for the M. Again, this is in PSI, so ang masasolve natin is in pound inch. So, 6,000 times 0.421875 divided by 0.375. So, you can have it as 6,750. Again, this is in pound inch. Pero ito, ano unit nito? This is in pound feet. Yan ano? Okay. So, M is equals to M max. Okay. So, 6,750 is equals to 12 minus X all over 12. Multiplied it by 200. Multiplied it by X. Again, imumultiply ko siya by 12, no? Para maging pound inch din siya. Okay? So, now we will solve for the X. So, calculator. 6,750. 6,750 equal to, okay, quantity, 12 minus X all over 12 multiplied by 200 times X times 12. Okay? And then shift. So, pwede ka maglagay ng value. So, tingin mo anong value yan. Siyempre, less than 12, ano? Sige, try nga natin 5. Pwede ka maglagay ng value ng ganun. Okay? So, ayan. So, X mo daw ay 4.5 inches. Alright? So, this is now the answer for this. Sabihin, hanggang 4.5 pwede siyang maglakad. So, 4.5, longer than that, babagsak na yung plank mo. Okay? So, hindi siya makakarating ng gitna. Okay? So, that's it for this problem. Question po? Okay. If none, I'll give you 5 minutes to copy. Sorry, that's 4.5 feet. Feet, no? So, kinonvert na nga pala natin siya. So, that's in feet.